Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, and today come with another video and that is related to the enzyme kinetics. And before going to this video, I just tell you that I explained in my previous videos about the Lineweaver-Barr plot or the double reciprocal plot and the enzyme kinetics or the Michaelis-Menten equation. You just check out that videos and then you follow this one. Okay, so today's topic is the competitive, uncompetitive and the non-competitive binding of inhibitor and the enzymes, and what is the effect of this kind of binding on the Lineweaver-Barr plot or the double reciprocal plots, and what kind of features we can see in this type of binding or this type of reactions. So first one, I just explained you about the competitive inhibition. What is the competitive inhibition? Here the enzymes and the here the substrates and the inhibitors both are present within the medium with the enzymes, and here actually the same type of features we can see in the inhibitors and the substrate. So enzymes cannot identify which one is the inhibitor and which one is the substrate. So as usually, if the inhibitor concentration is high within the medium, then ES complex is not formed. EI complex is formed. That is the enzyme inhibitor complex. This one. You see that this one is formed. But this is reversible because as usually, if the substrate concentration is high in the medium anyhow, then the inhibitor cannot bind with the enzymes. Then substrate easily binds with the enzymes active sites to form the ES complex. Clear? So here the EI and the ES complex actually reversibly they change their places. Sorry, one second. Sorry for the disturbance. Okay, you see here, this is the Lineweaver-Barr plot. Okay, this is the Lineweaver-Barr plot, and here the value of minus 1 by km, that is totally shifted to minus 1 by km towards the line. Okay, y0 line, that is y and x intersect, that is this point 0 point, the minus 1 by km, that is shifted toward the 0 point. Clear? So here what is that? The slope is more steeper. Okay, slope becomes more steeper. Actually the in case of double reciprocal plot, if the inhibitor is absent, no inhibitor, that means this kind of slope you can see. But when the inhibitor is present, the slope becomes steeper and this kind of line is formed. Clear? And here 1 by s is plotted here, and 1 by v, that is velocity, is plotted here. And what situation arises here? 1 by km that increase, 1 by km that decrease, but the km is increased here, and the Vmax or the 1 by Vmax that remains same, and the value of 1 by V that rise, 1 by V that rise, but decrease in the value of exact V. Okay, so this is the actual the competitive inhibitor conditions, or when the inhibitor actually binds with the enzymes to form the EI complex. These features we can see. Okay, okay, very good. Km value here we learn about 1 by km, and I just write here this the km value also here. You just see from here also that km value increases, and this is reversible. I say you that this is reversible. Okay, that E is formed as the S increases, Vmax will be same. Okay, so what we learned here, just that when the inhibitor is present, that means EI complex is formed, but when the substrate complex is maximum in the medium, then inhibitor cannot bind with the enzyme. As usually they have the same features here, which that creates this situation when the EI complex is formed. 1 by V, the value of 1 by V that rise, but the decrease in the value of V, decrease 1 by km but increase km, Vmax or 1 by Vmax that remains same, and slope becomes steeper. Okay, So this is the competitive inhibition. Now we learn about the uncompetitive inhibition. Okay, this is uncompetitive inhibition. Okay, this is the uncompetitive inhibition, means here we cannot see any competition between the inhibitor and substrate, where both inhibitor and substrate present in the medium with the enzymes. Here actually enzyme activity is inhibited in presence of, obviously enzyme activity is being inhibited because E has the active site. Suppose this is E and this is E has this the active site, so that the S actually binds. And when the inhibitor is present within the medium, then S has binds with the E, obviously, okay, but inhibitor also bind with the ES complex, this one, suppose this one. So it forms ESI complex. You see here, inhibitor does not compete for binding. Actually inhibitor here does not compete with binding, but it ES complex it not formed here completely, because the inhibitor it binds with the another site of the enzyme. So here ES complex binding is not hampered, but enzyme ES complex, that means the ES enzyme substrate complex with the enzyme substrate complex, there is another site, and that is useful for binding of the I inhibitor, and that means we can see generally here ESI complex, not ES complex. And here the ESI complex formed, when the ESI complex formed, and as usually when the I is very high in the medium, then the I causes the increased affinity with the ES. That means the substrate has the affinity with the enzyme that will be increased in presence of inhibitor. Okay, and S that is higher, and ES as well as ESI. That means you can see here ES complex obviously, but with the ES complex you can see obviously ESI complex, this one. Not you can see fully ES complex because ESI is present within the medium. Okay, and what will happen for forming this ESI complex, and what is the effect of this formation of the ESI complex on the this curve, double reciprocal curve? Here you see that when the inhibitor is absent, and this is the original slope, you see that. But when the inhibitor is present in the medium, the slope that shifts towards the left, and what happened, the Vmax, 1 by Vmax, that increase. Okay, that is increased, 1 by Vmax, that is increased. You see that this is increased, and the actual Vmax that becomes decreases. Clear? Slope is unchanged. Slope is unchanged means there is no stiffness or any larger or any another change is found in the forming of the slope. You just see like the same type of original slope, but just changing is found in the Vmax and position of the Vmax and in position of the 1 by Km. Okay, and here 1 by Km that shifts towards the left. So 1 by Km decrease here. 1 by Km, sorry, actually there is some disturbances. Okay. So what happened, we see here 1 by Km that is shifted towards the left. That means the value of the Km that is increased. Okay, but decrease in the Km value, actual Km value that is decreased. And these are the okay, and another thing is that this process is irreversible. That means if the ESI complex is formed anyhow, it cannot again reversibly formed to the ES complex. ESI obviously present with the ES complex in the medium, and this is the uncompetitive inhibition. And the last one we learn that is the non-competitive inhibition. This is the last one, non-competitive inhibition. Okay, now this is the non-competitive inhibition, and here this in case of non-competitive inhibition, the enzyme, if inhibitor is present within the medium, then inhibitor actually binds with the enzyme and change the conformational dimension or the structure of the enzyme. Enzyme's conformational structure that is totally changed by the binding of inhibitor with the enzyme, and as usually or as a result, the substrate that cannot bind with the EI complex or only enzymes to form the ES complex. Clear? And this process actually not reversible. Okay, once EI is formed or the enzyme inhibitor complex is totally formed, then there is no chance for the formation of the ES complex or the ESI complex. ESI complex sometimes may be possible, but ES complex never be chanced, because EI cannot, I that means inhibitor, never dislodged from the enzyme. Okay. Here the changes we can see in the double reciprocal plot, that is 1 by Km, that remains same. There is no change is found in the position of 1 by Km, but you can see the 1 by V max that is shifted towards the upward direction. That means Vmax, 1 by Vmax, that is increased, okay, but Vmax is decreased, because Vmax always opposite like that of the 1 by Vmax. So Vmax is decreased, but 1 by Vmax, that is increased, okay. Here rise 1 by V or the decrease V. 1 by V means that means the velocity, actually enzyme's velocity with the binding of the substrate, that becomes decreased. Clear? But in case of Km, 1 by Km, that there is no change. Original where the inhibitor is absent, this is this line, and this is the when the inhibitor is present. So you can see that 1 by Km, that is the same in position. Clear? So these are the totally. Oh, another thing is that the similarity, no similarity is found in between the inhibitor and the substrate. Clear? Inhibitor and the substrate, there is no similarities. Okay, no similarities is found. And EI fails to bind the S. If EI is actually formed, then S cannot bind with the EI complex. Sorry. This is the actually the we learned about today. We learned about the competitive, non-competitive, and the uncompetitive inhibition of the enzyme substrate complex. Another part is remained actually related to enzyme, that is how the enzyme substrate complex is formed and what factors are generally very responsible for the formation of the ES complex. And today's video is about only the non-competitive, competitive, and the uncompetitive inhibition, and I will explain about the ES formation, how the ES formed and what factors generally related to the ES complex formation. So then we will learn in another video about this topic. Okay, if you like this enzymes related knowledges or enzyme related any informations that I today give you, then obviously you like, share and subscribe my channel. Okay, thank you.